Fair use is in full effect. For educational, news reporting, teaching purposes only. Now let's check this out from TSG. Guess what it is right here? We one day closer to the kingdom. Shalom.
Read the ending score for me.
She wore a suit, clothes that were... Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore, bro, I don't know, bro.
You also got to see that our kids are fighting with their teachers.
You're not gonna talk to me like that, you dumbass bitch. You're not gonna talk to me like that. Bitch, you're not gonna talk to me like that. You're not gonna talk to me like that. You dumbass playing in my face right now. You need to give her a punch.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
When I tell you, she found the right one. She found the right one. Couldn't have been me. Because when I tell you that little child would have ended up in an emergency room and she would be in intensive care and I would be sitting in a jail cell with the biggest smile on my damn face, there is no excuse for this.
There is no excuse for this. This is the result that we're seeing of not having structure within the house, two-parent household, or women who are willing to work with their children's father such that these kids can get what they need from both parents. And this woman right here is going to lay out a case about how dysfunctional our families really are.
The most dysfunctional thing that is coming out of the Black community right now is the behavior of Black women and the behavior of their children.
This is fucking crazy, y'all. This is nuts.
Black women have dismantled the core of the community, which is family and structure and stability, and replaced it with chaos and control and confusion. And they don't want to build with Black men, but have no problems aligning themselves with the government.
We're going to see these young Black boys, and we want to see their behavior. They are literally stealing from a store and then catching attitude when they won't let them out the store.
You got like 10 seconds to open up this door. I swear to God, I'm gonna break this door. I'm 10. Open this fucking door. Oh, come on, mom. Come on, mom. Bitch, I been knew how to count, ho. Show 4 out of that. Dad do that. You can open the door. Bitch, I'm gonna open up this door because I'm not doing all I fucking know is y'all better open it. Open up this door before we break this bitch. Break it. Go ahead. I'm finna break some up in this bitch. On God, I'm finna. You guys must be young. I would like that for a 10 with y'all. Do not play with it.
You do not like that, but you can't open the door.
Do not play with it. Open this door, my trash it.
You can open it.
I will trash this on.
Now, I think that I showed this clip before, and there was another clip that came out later where these little boys had their sister get on camera, and she's defending them, saying that they know what they doing. They doing what they need to do. Their sister, who probably was a teenager or like a young adult, I would probably say she was a young adult, she was taking up for him. And then when you hear the way they talk, don't this sound like somebody don't these little boys sound like they're raised by their mom and by their sisters? Don't they have that same type of behavioral attitude? Listen, man, this breaks my heart. Women are looking at these kids as just a check. They don't care about, hey, the government will help raise them. I can send them off to school, but I'm getting this money. This is the only way I'm gonna be able to get my money. I'm gonna put some dudes on child support so I can get some money. They don't really care about how these kids coming up raised until what? Until prom comes up, and then they want to put them in these fancy suits and shit.
3 reasons guys regret trying Rougette Ready. 1, it kicks in way faster than expected. Rougette.
And then these kids become teenagers, and then they do shit like this.
Snuck into a homeless shelter to eat free.
Love free food. We love free food. They at the homeless shelter acting like we homeless.
They got pork in the mac. It's pork in the mac.
That's gonna ruin my reputation.
Fire. There's flow.
There's people that really be needing this food, man. There's people that really, I'm not saying that these young people ain't hungry. They probably are. They probably are hungry. But the fact that they don't want to go out there and work for themselves, or they don't want to go out there and hustle and get the money for themselves, but they want to go to a homeless shelter and take food from people who don't have it, that's a problem. It's a huge problem. Because these same young people will end up having a bunch of kids, and what kind of values are they going to be taught? These women who laying down with Pookie, Ray Ray, and them.
When your kids say they hungry in the store, gotta feed them. You gotta stop and you gotta feed them. Because one thing about me, when I'm hungry, you gonna make sure you eat. You gotta eat. Ain't that right? So when y'all hear y'all kids crying, just stop, take a break, and get them a snack. It's the only way to get them to shut up. That's it. It's simple. Y'all see they quiet as a bee. They quiet. It's okay to take a break, y'all. Fat man, he happy. It's okay. It's better than listen to y'all kids cry.
You know, birds of a feather flock together. P just said that on a recent episode of Partners in Crime, and it's true. You know, like, the reason why these women end up with some of these types of dudes is because that's who they pick. This is who they're choosing. They're choosing Pookie, Ray Ray, Glocktavius, and Fel Antonio. They're okay with it. I've showed you videos where the woman says, I want a hood dude. And then you get hood results. This dude is eating potato chips off of the nasty-ass Walmart ground. This is the example that they both setting for their kids. Everything that you saw, these kids are not being supervised and trained to not do those things. In some cases, they're being encouraged to do it because we live in a society now where families aren't planned. And before y'all go ahead and just say, well, it's just black people doing this. Gents, in one of my most recent videos, you heard a gay black man say that straight black men are a cancer to the community.
Straight black men are the cancer of the black community. I've been saying for years on this show that black men need to have a conversation, black men alone. We have got to figure out what is going on with us. This is not something that black women can help us with. This conversation does not include black women. Black women stand down and stand to the side.
You also may have seen these videos about these hood proms. P and I talked about it on Partners in Crime and how they're getting completely out of control.
He was turned off that at Soda Baby to K17 for prom.
Looks like African American men have another 50 years of not having suitable wives to marry.
It has become so ridiculous that it seems that there's a push by adults to try to have our kids in grown-up situations before they're mentally prepared for it. Now, this is crazy. Why do they have these kids dressed up like this? Why are they doing so much to have these kids grown before they have to be. We have so many kids worried about extravagant dances, extravagant proms, social media validation, relationships, and out here looking grown, yet half of them may not even graduate high school. Hell, most Americans are reading at a 6th grade level. And if you think I'm exaggerating, watch this.
There are 2 viral videos circulating around the internet right now where high school students are being asked to read a passage and certain words, and they're struggling.
Read the end of this card for me.
She wore a suit, clothes that were. Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore. Bro, I don't know, bro. Can you take the card back, please?
She wore a. Oh, baby. She wore a silhouette of clothes that were. Bitch, I don't know that word. I don't even know how to read. I don't know why I did this.
She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary, but somewhat gauche.
All right, now what does that mean?
I have no idea. Like his clothes is nice or something like that.
She wore a. I don't know what this should say. I don't know what this should say.
IQ, even though they go to more school than we did. Us on basic has been school. Each generation spends more time in school. We use school to develop our cognition until Gen Z. Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have, from basic attention to memory to literacy to numeracy to executive functioning to even general IQ, even though they go to more school than we did. So why? What happened? What happened around 2010 that decoupled schooling from cognitive development? It can't be school. Schools basically look the same. It can't be biology. This hasn't had enough time to change. The answer appears to be the tools we are using within schools to drive that learning. Across 80 countries, as Jean was just saying, if you look at the data, once countries adopt digital technology widely in schools, performance goes down significantly, to the point where kids who use computers about 5 hours per day in school for learning purposes will score over 2/3 of a standard deviation less than kids who rarely or never touch tech at school.
You are interacting with them briefly in between hits of the internet, which is their real life.
I gotta keep the kids constantly engaged. Not even just engaged, but almost overstimulated. The candy isn't even working anymore.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. Put your hands on me.
And gents, what makes this even scarier is these aren't just random internet opinions. Teachers are saying it. Neuropsychologists are saying it. People who work with children are saying it every single day. These kids are struggling emotionally. These kids are struggling academically. They're struggling socially. And for the first time in modern history, we may be looking at a generation of kids that are less prepared for life than the generations before them. This has never happened before, and this is not progress. That's the decline. And eventually, that decline is going to start showing up in their behavior, which we just saw. And before somebody gets emotional in the comments, this isn't every household. We understand that. But there is enough households right now that are broken that the consequences are becoming visible everywhere. And if you think this is only affecting kids that are trying to learn to read, adults can't read either.
I knew the kids weren't reading, but I didn't think it was this bad.
Right now. You in 12th grade, nigga. What's up?
Reason
you'd like to get a new fence, but you don't want to spend a bunch of money up front. Lucky for you, you can get a brand new fence like this one right here with a...
Things are being pushed right now because this this here was always a part of the plan.
So, like, what's your name? Oh.
Type shit.
What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a road runner. I'm
a road runner?
Yeah, risk taker.
What does that mean?
Shit, it is what it is.
What do you do as a road runner risk taker?
Oh shit. We road run and we take risks. Yeah.
What risks are you taking?
We just take risks, shawty. Like if you ain't about to take the risk, then the risk ain't about to be taken, shawty.
I'm confused.
Nah, shawty.
But what actually is the risk that is to be taken? I'm lost.
Now listen, I know some people are gonna laugh at this clip, because what in the hell was that at the end? But honestly, it's not funny, because this young man can barely communicate in a way that most functioning adults can understand. I didn't understand the goddamn thing he was saying, and neither did the woman or the young lady that was in clip. And yet this is becoming normalized. You got some 5 and 6-year-olds who communicate better than this. Now combine that with broken homes, a lack of discipline, social media addiction, poor education, and emotional instability. And then tell me why society feels like it's collapsing.
Wait a minute, hold on. I thought y'all were raising provider men.
These young ladies are asking our sons for money. And as a boy mom, they used to really grind my gears because this little girl sent my son a $100 Temu request. First of all, I didn't even know you could do that. Thank you, bitch. Also, terrible discernment, bad pussy management. My son not even dropping the fries and he doesn't have a license. He was 15 years old, girl.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Now you, I feel like you asking me for money because where he going to get it from?
She is. You pay it up, mama.
And have you seen Malcolm X, young lady? Huh? Have you? Do you know what happens to you when you put your hands in somebody else's pocket?
Pay it up, mama. Pay it up. I thought we all wanted provider men. He's a little boy. You're responsible for him. So you didn't send that little girl $100 because I thought the men were supposed to be paying for the women.
Now, this is the uncomfortable part of the conversation that we need to have, because many boys right now are being raised primarily by these single mothers. And some of these mothers are trying their best. I'm not going to hold anybody. Listen, there are single mothers out there that are doing their best. But unfortunately, in today's society, their best, in some cases, isn't good enough. Because when boys grow up watching dysfunction, watching toxic relationships, watching instability, it affects how they see women. It affects how they see relationships. It affects how they see family. And that goes not just for these boys, but it also goes to these little girls too. But when we talk about these boys, eventually you start to see resentment.
My son told me one time, he said, "You use men." And I was like, huh? He said, "You play them for money. You play them for stuff." He said, "So I don't respect women." He said, "Because if you could do it, they could do it." And I was like, I never did that. I said, the opposite was they was giving me that to keep y'all shut up so they could have your mama. Let's get it straight.
Hey, that's cold. It's all about perception. It's all about perception. And that's the crazy thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're children looking at adult affairs and we're not necessarily knowing what's going on as far as the particulars is concerned. All I see is saying, and you know,
buying pizza and handing your money and getting your new Nintendo game and all of that. And that's just to shut you up.
But on the same token,
Dang,
like
all them games, he looked like I was using him to get them stuff.
Now, gents, I've heard of this before. I've seen this before in the hood, where mom had the little boyfriend going over. She was barely home. And then I seen what happened to those people as adults. And we talking back in the 90s. Yeah, they grew up with a lack of respect. They grew up with a lack of education. They grew up with a lack of self-control and discipline. This right here is the final warning sign. When young boys start resenting their own moms, when young girls grow up without structure, when families become broken by default instead of exception,